I thought I saw something. Did Eminem come back with a diss last night? No, he didn't. But he put out this interview. And this is really weird. It was only part one. He did this interview with Sway. I suggest people watch it. Maybe I'll show you a little bit of it. Eminem he doesn't get it, man. But it's interesting to hear why his mind doesn't get it. And this is like the first time we've ever heard it. I actually think if you were like an old school Eminem, I can't believe that's old school rap now. It really is. Because we were talking about it yesterday. Like if you're in 8th grade right now, Eminem is like an old fucking man that you are not interested in whatsoever. But to me, I mean, this was the illest shit coming up, man. You know, and it was just interesting. We were discussing Eminem yesterday and why we don't like him now, because we don't like him now. And I think we figured it out. It just doesn't sound good anymore. Like the sound of his actual voice, like no matter what he does, no matter what he's rapping about, no matter how catchy the song is, it's like it's too old. It's too Eminem, and it reminds us of the past, and it doesn't fit in with now. It might honestly have something to do with the fact that he never evolved the way he looks in a up-to-date way.
In this interview, he looks insane.
He looks insane. The beard's insane. I mean, but you listen to the Kamikaze album, it is technically really good, but does anyone want to rock with that right now? No. It's almost like ICP feeling, which is so interesting because ICP is what Eminem always hated his whole life. But it has that white trash feel. And I think we're so far from that right now. Like nobody really wants that Eminem sound. We just don't want the sound anymore. There's like nothing he could do about that. You know, if you're into his sound, you're almost like a Big J. Okerson type of guy or a Louis J. Gomez where you have a little dirt on your clothes. You know, your clothes have been washed.
And the sound of his voice is like so synonymous with like 2003.
Yeah,
that
that's
can't
it.
Pull yourself out.
That's
of it.
You just can't. No matter what he does, it just. We don't. I don't want that now. Especially, it's so hard to be a fan of Kanye and Eminem because they're so completely in different universes that it almost doesn't make sense. It's almost like a different genre of music now. It's not even like hip hop. Like when Eminem raps, it's like listening to rock.
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously. So here's this interview. Let's watch a second of it. Because he does. But to me, I was super interested in this because it's still, you know what I'm saying? We shouldn't just give up on it and call him a fucking idiot, though, because he did do a lot of stuff. So I think at least we should hear him out a bit.
Someone says his flow is not relaxed, which I think puts a lot of people off nowadays.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Exactly. It's not chill at all. There's no fucking chill in the flow. And yeah, I think we don't want that right now. I think there's enough commotion online that we don't want commotion in the music anymore. We want to go to the music to feel good now.
Yeah.
So we don't want in the music anymore. And the fonts he chooses.
Y'all ready to be history? All right, hey, there we go.
We're out of here.
All right, there you go. That's it.
Let's see.
Sway, so before we get started, will you please sign?
Here's another thing. His talking voice. I've always hated his voice, the sound of his voice, because he's doing like a really hard to swallow impression of a black, like a complete wigger voice. And it was fine when he was young. I mean, it was never fine, actually. I've actually never been okay with that voice. I've always thought it was odd. And you know what? When he was really popular, when he came out, it was cool because once he started popping off, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, they all started copying that accent a little bit. So eventually, like, Christina Aguilera was talking like this for a bit, and she was like, yo, I just don't really vibe with it. Well, they didn't use the word vibe back then. They sure use it now, though, don't they? And Eminem's voice is just, it's hard to listen to him even talk.
Oh, shit. Damn. Wow.
There he is.
Oh, wow.
And Sway.
Yo, you look like a kid. You're a kid there.
Damn, man, I was a baby, bro.
Crazy.
That's our teenage years. Y'all didn't know I had bars once upon a time, huh? Yeah, you want me to say Mars?
These hats, too. The hats need to go. Sway's hat is terrible. It's like a... he's trying to do a thing where he wears... What do they call that thing? Like black people from Africa wear these big bee's nest things. So he's trying to do like a mix of that, but with like a bill. So that it's like a hat. Hold on, I got to take these little blue little moon niggas. All right. And then Eminem wears a terrible hat, too.
Sure, you want me to say?
Yes, please.
Okay. That's MARSHALL. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. Look
Hell
at that,
yeah,
man. I
man.
signed a vinyl for him, man. Look at that, man. Look at
Incredible.
Look
Yo,
at that shit.
your signature's so much better than mine. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. Man, you threw me off with that.
Fucked up your whole shit.
Not really. I'm just impressed that you dug that deep in the crates, man. I didn't know you.
I'm always digging in the crates.
Oh, no, you're not. I'm always digging in the crate. This was the, by the way, not the clip to play you. Yeah. So I might have wasted your time with that completely. That was just
Skip
the opening.
to like almost the end, I feel like.
Yeah, he gets into some stuff, though. Sway is a despicable man, by the way. He should be fired from all gigs. You know, he was a reporter for MTV News. He was a ridiculous guy. Now he works at Eminem's Sirius XM station, Shade 45. Look at Eminem's beard, man. Just why do you need that beard? There must be something going on under the jaw.
Sat back, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. People can talk crazy about me. That's fine. They should express themselves, and they have a right to. But I also get to say whatever the fuck I want about you now.
Ooh.
Like I said, I'm good with Revival. Fuck it. Mm-hmm. Because I couldn't have made this album without that.
Yeah.
And there is something, I'm not going to lie, there is something inside me that is a little more happy when I'm angry. It's like, as much as as bad as it feels to be there, there's also something about it, there's a rush of it that I like because it inspires me to say something back. So you get in that weird area too where it's like, oh, he says he doesn't care about what anybody thinks about him, but now he cares about what everybody thinks about him. No, he's just saying he don't care. He'll say anything he wants about you if you say it about him because he doesn't care. Like, there's so many different...
Look how big their heads are now, huh? Isn't that bizarre? I was looking at Sway's giant fucking head. That's trippy. Is this any more enjoyable to watch? I want to know if people, just the video aspect alone, just with the new TV, I'm just asking.
When you had Kendall's giant head on the screen, it looked like one of those scenes from a movie where someone's right next to a T-Rex's eye, and it's like filling the whole screen. It was giant.
If I were a viewer of this show, I'd find this much more enjoyable to watch.
I love it. I have the best view.
I've always been into bigger screens my entire life. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted bigger screens. In fact, man, I even want bigger. I want to go to Best Buy tonight and just get screens, man. I fucking love them. Let's see. Hate. Well, okay. Okay, let's hear just one more part.
Different levels to not caring about shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was interesting. It was definitely interesting because I'm like, how fucking off is my ear?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like, and then it was interesting to watch the reaction of the Chloroseptic remix verse that I did.
Yeah, with 2 Chainz, and you put that out in January. You touched on, you guys formed your opinion just from a track.
And that's where I was at.
Yeah.
At that point in time, that's definitely where I was at. But I watched people going, oh, why wasn't this on Revival? Honestly, what if I said it was on Revival? You won't know because you didn't listen probably.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like, okay, I guess this is what people might want. Because I'm always stuck in that, what the fuck do people want? Like you were saying, that the OM is back and he's too old to be the OM. Mm-hmm. He can't do, like, no matter what, when I zigged, I should have zagged. No matter what. You got half and half every fucking single time.
You see how frustrated you're making us, you people out there? Everybody's going insane, by the way. You know what it is? It's too many fucking comments. You really can't. All these people are losing their minds. You know, so you got to be adult about it. You got to kind of understand what's going on out there and know how to listen to it. People like Eminem, they really they can't grasp all these comments. Kanye can't either with the sandals thing. You know, Kanye posted that picture of him with the wedding. The sandals were a bit too small, and everybody went crazy over it. And, you know, he's like, what the fuck, man? All I'm doing is trying to give them stuff that I hope they like. And they just don't stop. They don't stop tearing me the fuck apart. So you're driving these men nuts. You're not driving me nuts. I understand. Okay? And you know who else understands? The new crowd of people. These YouTuber kids understand it better than anybody. But you're driving Eminem insane. And the fact of the matter is, there should be somebody in his camp trying to kind of explain this to him. You know? But good for you. Everybody's doing it. Yeah, and it's you can tell, like, anybody over the age of 30 is terribly affected by all this stuff. And they just don't know what the fuck to do anymore.
You kind of say that. You allude to it in one of the songs where you said you set the bar so high that, you know, at this point, you know, everything's considered a failure. Like, you're almost competing with yourself.
Yeah.
And you touch on it a lot in every song. Well, not every song, but majority of songs you touch on it, I appreciate.
Well, that's very fun. You touch on it in every song. Well, not every song, but in a majority of your songs, you touch on it. That's crazy. Eminem's made, by the way, like 5,000 songs. So that's a really bizarre thing to say to him. And even Eminem's like, fuck, I do kind of touch on it in every song.
But I have to, like, the Joe Budden thing is really interesting because that, along with him.
I would suggest watching this interview. And then there's a part 2 coming out tomorrow. So, interesting stuff. But yeah, that stuff about him having to compete with himself, fine, maybe, yeah. But I don't know what, you know, the solution is. You know, I think maybe, you know, it probably would have been fine if Eminem just stayed current and just never kind of went away and didn't decide to live in fucking Detroit instead of LA or New York or something like that. Detroit is, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if you're from Michigan. I do not rock with Detroit anymore. I get terrible vibes from Detroit. I had an ex who lived in Dearborn, Michigan, which they claim Detroit there in Dearborn, Michigan, and man, I'm just not down with a city that falls apart because the factory's closed. Seriously. I find that to be rather white trash and despicable. Like, I just don't vibe with it. I don't like that, like, my dad's out of a job. Why? Because there's no more jobs where he goes like this. You know, like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe your dad shouldn't have done this for 20 years. And by this, I mean, like, you're picking up a bumper and moving it. Like, you shouldn't be a cog in a factory line. That's what I'm talking about. And, like, yeah, you might go, well, Mike, there's not enough jobs for everybody. Everybody can't be creative. But then slow down on having kids. You know, because odds are your kid might have to work just in a factory. What is the point? So that you could have a big dinner every year with these people? You know what I mean? So I don't feel bad. I remember my ex-girlfriend. She's like, my mom's out of a job and there's nothing she could do. And I'm like, well, what did she do? And she's like, well, she really didn't do anything at work. You know, the auto companies were doing so well. And she kind of just sat there. She took a few calls. And then just messed around, and now they're laying everybody off who doesn't have, and it's like, what did she think was going to happen? You know? What did she think? That people were just going to, and I think people did grow up thinking, oh, there'll always be something for me. You got to make that shit yourself, man. So I don't like that Detroit mentality where it's like a whole city of laid off factory robot men who drink alcohol in their trailers. You know, and there's some despicable people. I met a man who was 99% of his body was covered in burns. This is true. His daughter, he had a daughter that I knew. And, you know, everybody in Detroit, by the way, is divorced. So the daughters all live with the moms, and the dads all live in really shitty white trash apartments. And they buy... I met 3 dads from Dearborn, Michigan. They were all identical. Super nice guy. They all play the drums. They're cool like that. They drink beer. They play the drums. They've got sandy mustaches, you know, sandy hair. They have terrible sunburns. And they buy the worst gifts. Like my ex-girlfriend, we went to her dad's place. Oof, you should have seen this fucking dump. And for Christmas, we go to her dad's place for Christmas. And he gives her a gift. The only gift he gives her. An unwrapped gift. You know what it was? A chia pet. A Barack Obama chia pet. So he got that like he was at the gas station and was sitting there on the counter. Do you remember chia pets? It was like a ceramic, it was like $4. And you would, it was like a ceramic piece of clay, and you would put like these seeds on it and water it, and then grass would grow out of the holes. And it started off as like some animal shape. And then they started making all these different chia pets. They made a Barack Obama one. Someone in the chat says, we do have a live chat every time we're live at redbarradio.tv. You can participate in the show. In fact, I encourage you. Someone says, hey, Dave Landau is from Detroit, and he loves his fat wife. And he's not even from Detroit, but they all say they're from Detroit. He's from, like, Lancaster, a place like that. Isn't there, like, there's probably every city in Michigan is called, like, Land something. And so he went to, he gives her the chia pet unwrapped here. And it's like, what the fuck? This is before people had such political differences, too. The Barack Obama chia pet, it didn't matter what party you were. In fact, people didn't affiliate with parties unless they were 70 years old back then. So there was no, political affiliation with that Obama gift. But I was so embarrassed. I go, that's what you get for Christmas? When I was a kid, if you got a gift, it was $200 or more, and it was a Sega Genesis-related gift. Anything less, you'd be livid. You'd hate your parents for life. So he gets her that shit fucking $4, and you know that he just got it that day when he was going to buy his alcohol. And then the second girl I knew, her dad, same situation, but he was badly burned. Fucking around with lamp oil or something inside the house. This is a guy who probably set up a tiki torch in his house. You can't even say tiki torch anymore without thinking of those boys from Charlottesville. But yeah, he was badly burned head to toe, literally looked like Krueger. And he would show up at the girls' school. He wasn't allowed to. They had rules set for his visitations. And she would get out of school and she'd see him standing closely next to a tree in the distance, badly burned. And she'd run into her friends' cars and get the hell out of there. And he actually died a few years later. His head was cut off in a terrible accident involving, no joke, a flying squirrel. I'm not fucking kidding. Now, I don't know if I have all those facts right. Yes.
His head was cut off.
Well, something happened. He bought a flying squirrel. Do you know these exist? They glide.
Yeah,
they don't really
of course.
fly.
They're cute.
And he kept it inside it, and it was going crazy. It's like going nuts. And he was trying to get it. I think he got himself... something happened. His head was...
The squirrel was carrying one of those wires, and it just caught him.
And she caught the head, and it was all burned.
Covered in ants.
Lamp oil, LOL. Yeah, covered in ants. Shout out to Paymon, man. Anyway, Detroit. Yeah, that's what I feel. And if you're from Michigan, we don't have to fight about it. Let's get you out of Michigan. You have a safe house here. What do they call that? I am opening up a halfway house. A halfway house.
Oh.
But you got to be halfway normal to stay here. So I need to see your Facebook profile. But if you live in Michigan, here is my offer. You could stay with me for a month while you get on your feet. I will provide what you need for a month while you look for a job and an apartment in Chicago, and we'll get you here don't hang out in Michigan. It's a low rent situation, and it produces odd people like Eminent. Okay? Get out of Michigan. I know that's going to offend some people, but don't ride so hard for your city. Seriously, you never hear me. Do you ever hear me riding for Chicago? I find that to be a foolish man's endeavor. I always have. When I was young, my friend, right when we got out of high school, he got an Irish flag tattoo.
Well, you have a Chicago flag tattoo.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, I was getting into that.
No.
It's 100% wrong.
Oh.
I got my Chicago flag tattoo when I was in college, and I got it because Brendan Kelly, the lead singer of Slapstick, had one, and I thought it looked so badass. And this is why I could come from a place and tell you why it's so stupid. I don't give a fuck about Chicago. I wanted a tattoo. And when you're young, you want a tattoo and you don't know what to get. Completely wrong. But I never rode for the city. I was never into the city. I don't live and die by the city. And I remember when my friend got that Irish flag tattoo, and I was like, why do you have pride in being Irish? Like, you've never brought this Irish thing up to me ever. And now all of a sudden you have like Irish pride. And I thought that was so stupid. It's like, who the fuck cares? And he's never visited Ireland. You know what I mean? Like, why do you have pride in this idea? It's like almost you just wish you had something like that. You know, so when people ride for this, it's almost like they wish they had this community that they speak of. But don't ride for your city. It's temporary. You don't have to defend your city. Okay? You don't have to rep it. Who gives a shit? Move. So that's what I say to the people from Detroit. Don't get they get defensive about it. Get the hell out of there. You need a shotgun in order to live there, too.